We'd like to welcome those of you that saw Washington's upset of UCLA. We're here at the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where Clemson is out of the gates with a 10-2 lead. And already they have forced 5 North Carolina turnovers. Terrence Oglesby committed the foul against Marcus Ginyard, and he's at the free throw line.
I don't know if there's an easy game in the Pac-10, Tim.
No.
That conference top to bottom is unbelievable.
And they're grinders, too. I mean, they play in the 50s and the 60s. You see Ellington coming out of the game, and he's been most affected by the loss of Ty Lawson. For those of you just joining us, that ankle sprain from a week ago against Florida State costs Lawson yet another start. He did not play in the Duke game either. Hansbrough has a mistake made by Mays, trying to save it underneath the opponent's hoop. That gets the crowd for the first time involved. They have been a berries and cream group in the first few minutes, and Clemson has had a lot to do with that as David Potter, the sophomore from Severn, Maryland, makes the basket.
Right, and he really got some great playing time early because of injuries and is playing with a lot of confidence. Sykes knocked that one away. 7 turnovers committed by Roy Williams' team. We've not gotten to the first TV timeout. It's amazing. Clemson's press has really bothered North Carolina. Oglesby from way downtown. They could use a better shooting effort from him in this game. In the game in Clemson, 1 of 10, 1 of 8 from the three-point line. Thompson pulls up. Run down by Hammonds. Leaves it for Sykes. Over Green. Mays and Hansbrough fighting for it. And Hansbrough was out of bounds on the end line. Clemson will have it when we come back. The opening moments of the game, emblematic of what we would see up until this point. Grand larceny leading to a dunk, and Clemson has the early lead.
The incredibly fuel-efficient Mitsubishi Outlander. Hop in. It's go time.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for a laptop.
Well, we have all the best brands, but before I can help you out, I'd like to get to know you first.
Okay.
Okay, so once your little niece Chloe arrives, you're going to want to get the Gateway. It has a ton of memory for home videos.
You're good. How many kids will I have?
4.
All the best brands. No interest for 18 months, plus Geek Squad support. Only at Best Buy.
There's a world outside every darkened door where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long.
Ever since there were cars, Americans have had a love affair with the open road. And with quality gasoline and great snacks coast to coast, Valero is your perfect travel companion. Valero, the all-American gasoline for the all-American love affair.
All these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's on.
College basketball snaps into focus on FSN South. Catch all the college basketball action on FSN South.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops is presented by Pizza Hut. Crunch into a cheesy blast of indescribable flavor with Pizza Hut's new crunchy cheesy crust pizza. Get more, not less, only from Pizza Hut. And brought to you in part by Just for Men. Stay in the game, Just for Men hair color. Clemson with the early lead. Tim Brando, Mike Kaminsky, Jen Hildreth, happy to have you here at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill. And it's been absolutely a team that presses, hating being pressed so far.
Shock and awe, really, by the Clemson Tigers coming out. 7 turnovers for North Carolina at this point, no assists. We talked about handling this as a team, Tim. Every player on the floor has a turnover for North Carolina.
Amazing. Ty Lawson unable to go. And there will be questions this week about his not performing. He did get hurt earlier in the year out in Vegas against BYU, missed the Ohio State game, came back after that against Kentucky, and a quick 5-second call as the defense
for North Carolina was about to take over, and Oliver Purnell was forced into taking a timeout. So North Carolina's pressure finally gets to Clemson just a bit.
We take a look at it, and they've done it in a variety of ways. This was the very first turnover of a game. A double team. James Mays very active, not only at the front of the press, but also in the double teams. That time, Thomas unaware of where pressure was coming from. Just some sloppy ball handling. Cliff Hammonds making them pay for those turnovers on the other end. And Tim, there's Quentin Thomas taking over for loss. You really have to be careful when you're talking about a player and an injury and his ability to go, because only that guy knows what he's dealing with and what pain he's dealing with.
That's true, but he did come back after a full game earlier when it was the other ankle. And Roy Williams told me before the Duke game, it was one of those situations where he really wanted to play, but when he said, I'm not sure. And of course, when he said, I'm not really sure that I can go, that made Roy's decision quite easy to go right to Quentin Thomas. And ultimately, North Carolina could become a better team down the stretch because of all of this. That's the hope, certainly, here in Chapel Hill. Danny Green has also come in for North Carolina.
In the short term, what he has to do is tell his team that there's no chance for at least this game that Ty Lawson is going to play. So that everybody has to get in the mindset that it's going to be other people.
Thompson gets the rebound. Quentin Thomas gets it up to Danny Green. That ball was deflected again. Hammond's got a hand in there. They have as many deflections and rejections as they have steals.
One of the things I talked about is for North Carolina trying to generate some easy offense, which they've so readily done all year long. But in the first 6 minutes of this game, every single possession has been a struggle.
Sykes with a nice bounce pass to Booker. What an entry pass.
Ryan Booker coming back from an ankle injury in his own right.
Ellington trying to save it. Pass was a bit too strong. And another turnover because of it. Oglesby halfway down the cylinder and out. And as you mentioned, he shot in tough luck in the last game. Ginyard had a lot to do with that with his defense. Danny Green with the first layup of the game for North Carolina.
Well, and what happened, I think Oglesby really helped North Carolina out. He might have surprised a teammate with that long shot, and they got one of the first break opportunities of the game.
Mass substitutions coming after the turnover. DeMontez Stitt coming into the game, along with Sam Perry and James Mays. Hammonds gets a breather for the first time, along with Sykes and Potter.
You see the number right there, and against Duke, only 4 transition points in that game, which is, I can't even begin to tell you how below their norm that is. But Duke did a very good job not only getting back, but keeping those break opportunities to a minimum.
Green a leaner. Green has given some instant offense since coming off the bench. Nearly got the steal and committed the foul instead.
Let's take a look now at our Pizza Hut starting lineups for tonight's game. Clemson going with its usual. Perry available to go along with Mays. Booker's been hurt but has come back. You see for North Carolina, Quentin Thomas, the only change because of the loss of Ty Lawson. DeMontez Stitt coming back from that knee surgery just within 2 weeks. Amazing to think. And there you see the flush coming from Trevor Booker.
In my era, that could have never happened to me. Having knee surgery and come back. It's amazing how far the medical practice has come in that time. But again, the miss. Stitt very active and aggressive going inside. Trevor Booker getting healthier and healthier with that ankle.
Green, that's an offensive foul.
Lowered the shoulder. An easy call for Ted Valentine to make. Second foul on Danny Green, and that'll bring Marcus Graves in for the first time, or Will Graves, I beg your pardon. So now it's Marcus Ginyard on the floor along with Thompson, Ellington, Will Graves, and Tyler Hansbrough, the 5 on the deck for Roy Williams. What a find DeMontez Stitt was for Oliver Purnell. Look at that, driving to the hoop, and the youngster out of David W. Butler High School gets the deuce, driving to the basket.
They've got 3 North Carolina natives out on the floor now for Clemson, so a little special extra added incentive to win this game.
Graves can't get it to go. Perry brings it down. into the hands of Stitt.
Sam Perry, one of those other guys who missed time with knee surgery early in the year, such a catalyst for them defensively and on the glass.
Nice find on the wing. Rivers, he has been lighting it up. KC coming off a 32-point performance against Virginia.
Biggest lead.
Graves. Perry, that ball deflected again. Booker getting his hand in there that time. 7 steals, 5 block shots for the Tigers, 8.5 minutes deep into the first half.
They talk about setting a tone in a game. The Clemson Tigers have set it.
That's an offensive foul against Rivers.
Trevor Booker's been all over the place. The sophomore from
Whitmire, South Carolina, rejecting and slamming early on tonight.
The new 2009 Mitsubishi Galant Sport Edition. More things than you'd expect for less than you'd think. Hop in, it's go time.
We have seasonal beers to celebrate the changing of the seasons.
We have Samuel Adams Summer Ale, Oktoberfest, Winter Lager. Then we bring out Samuel Adams White Ale. White Ale is a very traditional Belgian style of beer.
It is a wheat ale. It is unfiltered.
We add 10 different spices: vanilla, coriander, lemon zest.
It's complex.
A rich taste.
Refreshing.
Sam Adams White Ale gets you psyched up for spring to get here.
How far will we actually go to show that all gasolines are not the same?
As far as it takes. In this case, 5,000 miles.
We're not getting out. So we've proven Shell gasoline stops gunky buildup on critical engine parts that low-quality discount gasoline can leave behind.
Where's the next rest stop? Hold it. Do you have... No. Go fish?
Look, Shell gasoline stop gunky buildup, helping your car to perform at its best. So you ready for another 5,000 miles?
This Valentine's Day, give the sweetest of American traditions, Whitman's chocolate. The Whitman Sampler Heart, an American favorite since 1842.
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
Clemson leads it by 7, 21-9, and the third member of our broadcast team, Jen Hildreth, has more. Jen?
Well, Tim, one player that North Carolina definitely does not want to get hot is Casey Rivers after the way he went off against Virginia. In Clemson's last game, a career-high 32 points, including 8 from beyond the arc. He's 1 for 1 so far in this game. And I talked to KC, who they call Sizzle, by the way, when he goes off like he did against the Cavaliers. And he said for him to get going, he has to get in a rhythm early, find a spot on the floor that he likes. He reads and reacts. He did that so well the last game. Not something the Tar Heels want to see here tonight, Tim.
You know, he's not only does Sizzle shoot it well, but he's also got those long arms, and Mike has been responsible for a lot of those deflections and steals that we've seen already in tonight's game.
An excellent rebounder at his position as well. Really helps Clemson up front in that regard.
I think that time he got a little too aggressive on the defensive end, picked up the foul. That's his second. Oliver Purnell questioned it a bit, but he'll have to go to the bench now and get Sizzle over to the sideline.
An incredible start right there. 7 steals, 5 blocks already in this game, and 4 of 12 shooting. 1 assist for the Tar Heels.
You know, it looks a lot, Mike, because we had that game back in December. Really, the first few moments looked very similar to what we saw in Clemson. The difference being, back then, Clemson perhaps didn't know how good they were. Tonight, they do.
Well, I think they've been a confident group. It was just finishing that game against a highly ranked opponent.
Potter just inside the arc with a deuce. 23-9, the lead up to 14.
I think this team came in ready to this year, wanting to, and ready to make the NCAA tournament.
Ellington short-arming those runners a bit like he did against Duke the other night. I sensed a lot of stress in that game when Billy Packer and I were here, Mike, and I sense the same thing going on right now as Quentin Thomas re-enters. This is a team now unable to find Tyler Hansbrough, and a bit glazed over their eyes on the offensive end. Hansbrough finally collects one inside. He's got 6. Hammonds off the glass.
You really have to keep him away from his left hand. Very strong, not afraid to carry it all the way. Just such an understated, productive player.
Hansbrough trying to go reversal. Got hacked, and we'll get to the free throw line. We were talking a moment ago about Cliff Hammonds, perhaps one of the most unheralded players in ACC history. Look at that, what he's done in the last couple of games.
Well, I posed that question to Oliver Purnell today, and he agreed. And, you know, for all that he's done, all he's been is he's been consistent and steady and healthy, and every coach's dream. He shows up every game, and he gives you the same exact production.
Well, he's only the 5th player in ACC history to record at least 1,200 points, 1,300 points, I beg your pardon, 400 rebounds, 200 assists and steals. And as we said, he had that great game against Virginia. Let's go over to Jen.
Just for more on Cliff, you know, this is a player that everybody on that Clemson team respects. Experience, the key thing he feels like he brings. I asked him about having to switch over and play more point when DeMontes was out. He said, playing guard. Doesn't matter if you're 1 or a 2, and he's shown he can do it wherever he is on the floor.
I think the fact that he's left-handed also plays very well for Clemson. He and Casey Rivers, difficult to guard because of the southpaw offensive approach. You don't normally see that with backcourt scoring mates. Hansbrough in traffic. Thompson fouled as Clemson got involved over the back. And the foul does go against David Potter. Take a look at the ACC standings. Mike, this game is crucial for North Carolina to maintain contact with Duke, who looks to be getting ever closer to cinching the regular season.
Well, the key thing with those 2 losses is they're both at home, and Maryland playing as well as anybody in the conference right now, and going into a full head of steam in the Cameron Indoor Stadium on Wednesday. And then this, you know, a Clemson win here tonight would bunch those teams right up together at 6-3.
Thompson, baseline extended. Seemed to rush that shot, and he's played well offensively. His problem has been staying out of foul trouble. Deon Thompson's emergence has really helped Roy Williams a great deal this year. Oglesby rejected by Green, and it goes the other way.
See, and Danny Green has got the length to bother Oglesby like that. Really jammed him well. It's tough to block a jump shot, but he just played this perfectly.
Ellington, that ball was deflected by Booker, and the follow by Thompson. Clemson by 10. Hammonds. Danny Green the rebound, outlet to Deon Thompson. He stayed with it. Really bothered by both Hammonds and Oglesby, but he hung tough.
Well, I thought he really bailed his teammate out. You don't want to put a big guy in that type of position, but that was a terrific play by Deon Thompson to make the catch and the finish. Here's the look. Danny Green taking a bit of a chance, and why, it's, you know, that Thompson really showed a lot of concentration to corral the ball and then get it up to the rim.
Well, we talked to Roy Williams about Deon Thompson.
We need Deon to become consistent for us and play every single night. He has gotten better. He's particularly gotten better on the defensive end of the floor. He's gotten more in tune to what we need him to do on the backboards. We need him to stay out of foul trouble. He was doing some nice things in the Duke game, for example, but he spent too much time sitting over with me and eventually fouled out. So we've got to get him to stay away from that, and at the same time, if there is a problem, then we need Alex to come in and be effective.
Alex Stevenson is who is talking about there.
And Tim, the reason why Deon Thompson has such a problem against Duke, he was out on the floor defending people, which he is not used to doing. He picked up all of his fouls trying to guard on the perimeter, but he was very effective in that game, 5 of 6 when he was on the floor.
Well, after leading by as many as 14, Clemson's lead cut to 8, but just like that, Montez Stitt running that break to Booker, and a turnover by Thomas. He took steps. That's number 10 committed by North Carolina, and a lot of time remaining here in the first half.
Now, Quentin Thomas, he has to do a better job of receiving the basketball under control. It's the second time he's gotten to travel in that situation, and there's just too many bodies and too much pressure for Clemson.
Mays and Booker have really run the floor well for
This Clemson team got a lot of layups and break opportunities. Stitt in traffic, turns it over. Player control foul against the freshman as Ellington came over to deny him the baseline.
I get the sense that Stitt's a little over anxious. The first action that he's seen in a while. Carried it a little bit too far that time. Good defensive stand-in by North Carolina.
Marcus Ginyard comes back onto the floor, replacing Green. He's really been a vocal leader this past week. After the Duke game in the local papers, Ginyard said, our effort and execution against Duke was inexcusable.
Yeah, I guess if there's one game you'd think that effort wouldn't be a problem with North Carolina, it would be the Duke game.
And frankly, I thought that the effort was there. I thought the execution was not. I thought he was being a little tough on his teammates. Potter got the foul, his second, and we're in the bonus. Effort, for me, whenever I've been to a Duke-Carolina game,
that's not a problem.
That's never a problem. I thought he might have been a little tough on his teammates when he included that E word as opposed to execution. Execution was in question, especially on the offensive end, and Duke had a lot to do with that defensively. And I think that he's become such a leader, Mike, that whatever he says, his teammates will buy in.
As a junior, really, Quinn Thomas, the only senior on the team, and so Ginyard has to fill that role. And actually, he's become a much more potent offensive factor. He had 16 points in that game, hit a couple of threes. Aside from Hansbrough, he was the one reliable option.
No question. Stevenson saves it to Ellington.
Oh, a big sequence there to draw Carolina to within 6.
And that's the first open look that Wayne Ellington has had in this game. Maybe that gets him in rhythm.
Mays gives it up to Rivers. Bang.
Marcus Ginyard, a mistake there. He turned his back on Casey Rivers to double the post and lost him. He's too good a shooter to let him go.
Quentin Thomas almost got away, palming the ball that time, and they delivered a low pass, but a foul spotted inside by Tony Green.
Timeout. 7:47 remaining in a 9-point Tiger lead.
One great car leads to another, leads to another. The Mitsubishi Lancer. Hop in. It's go time.
Can I help you find anything today?
I was just looking for a laptop, something to help me organize my photos and stuff.
All right, well, we've got a few you should check out. We've got all the best brands. We've got Apple, now even Dell.
Nice.
Gentlemen, on your right, all the best computer brands. Something you won't see anywhere else.
Dell, HP, Apple. Think you'll do any video editing? What?
Please keep your hands and feet inside.
Our new computer lineup. It's a sight to see. Now all the best brands and Geek Squad support are all in one place. Best Buy.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel John Wagner, United States Air Force. I'm the commander of the 45th Launch Support Squadron. You know, I've always wanted to be a part of the space program, and you know, the Air Force is an exciting place to do just that. Most people don't realize the Air Force space program is equivalent to NASA in size and scope, and in most cases larger. You know, the shuttle launches about once a month, and I've got 3 launches here in the next 30 days. So if you want to be in the space program, the Air Force is a great way to do it.
See more videos at DoSomethingAmazing.com.
Who knew that 8 pounds 4 ounces could take up so much space? You moved the computer into the laundry room and a new minivan into the garage. Maybe you need to expand about 600 square feet. Maybe you need more than just an expansion. Banking, insurance, investments. BB&T. There's opportunity here.
You're watching FSN South.
Clemson up by 9, and they've built this lead on their defense, and they've done it in a variety of different ways. Block shots inside. James Mays coming over the back of Hansbrough for that one. Then Trevor Booker on the breakout by Ellington. A couple steals early on the front of the press, leading to a 3-point basket by Cliff Hammonds. And then the double team and the jump and the quick hands out front get James Mays this dunk. And Timmy, they set the tone early and have carried over and have had a nice little cushion in this game to the 8-minute mark.
That got the lead to 14 at one point, the Oliver Purnell's club. By the way, he got here a circuitous route, really, from Radford to Old Dominion to Dayton, after having been an assistant in the ACC at Maryland. So happy to be where he is, and has really put together a solid program. 17-5, 5-3 in the conference coming into tonight's game.
Clemson coming out, changing defenses, playing a 2-3 zone, packing it in, wanting to test North Carolina from the perimeter.
That was another kicked ball. We had one just prior to the break a moment ago. There was no foul underneath, as I'd originally thought. It was a kicked ball, and the ball was out of bounds to the heels. Ellington giving it up to Thomas, and Hugh pumps. Too strong, out of bounds. Last touch by Booker. North Carolina will control it.
Not his forte, Tim. 1 of 8 on the season coming in. You don't think of Point Thomas as a three-point threat.
He played so well, Mike, when he was forced into duty on Super Bowl Sunday against Florida State. And I thought did not play poorly against Duke. He just didn't get a lot of help.
Career high 10 points for him. Contributor. He had, a number of 6 turnovers in that game.
Ellington gets the 3 ball. He's the key right now because he struggled mightily in that game with Duke.
Right, and with Lawson out, a double-figure score out, they've got to have Ellington productive. And it's funny, it was off that missed free throw, and he got his first open look, and a lot of times for a shooter, you just need that one little spark.
He carried him with a career game in that come-from-behind win. Hooker decides to throw it off the leg of Stevenson, out of bounds to Clemson, 12 to shoot. And Danny Green will check into the game. Green also struggled, and when Ellington's not hitting from the perimeter, Green off the bench needs to, and it's been well documented. They were a collective 4 of 24 in that game Wednesday night. Rivers, boy, doesn't matter if he's contested or has an open look. He is just money.
Well, he played a little bit of cat and mouse in the 2-man game that time, and got Green to back off him. Same play.
Why not go back to it, huh?
Rivers again.
The guy with the ball is pretty important. You can't leave him in that situation. Everybody went with the cutter.
Yep.
Rivers had a great look.
That old story, you're defending off the ball, but you need to be on it as well. Ellington is open. Hello. He is cranking it up. He's got 9, and he's keeping North Carolina within contact.
Well, the last time he saw this color jersey, he had 36, including the game winner down at Littlejohn. He's having a little bit of a flashback.
Stitt. Looking for some room, finds it. And nice defensive work by Quentin Thomas that time.
Montez Stitt trying to do too much off the dribble in this game.
Ellington blows by and pulls up.
That was a deuce, 36 to 29, and the sophomore from Pennsylvania has them on their feet here in Chapel Hill. Clock under 10. Again, just a bit of a dribble drive by Stitt is all that's necessary to create the open look for him.
Well, remember, Clemson, the best three-point shooting team in the conference, so it's a huge weapon for them.
Hammonds outduels Hansbrough for the rebound. One of the best rebounding guards you'll find, Cliff Hammonds.
Playing 3 around 2 right now.
Booker powers it in right over Stevenson.
He's about 75% with that ankle, and his offense has been giving him trouble, but now I've seen a little bit better lift in this game, Tim. He's got a better base, seems a little bit more strong.
Alley-oop for Hansbrough, and a quick recovery by Rivers, out of bounds to North Carolina. Oliver Purnell worked on that defensively today in the shoot-around big time. Don't allow the oop to Hansbrough.
And that was a tough play, and coming in a little bit late, but there wasn't much real estate behind Hansbrough to go get the ball.
He and his staff, Ron Bradley, Frank Smith, and company really worked on that today. Going over that scouting report. Hansbrough in traffic, loves to create the contact with Booker and does. That's the first foul on Trevor Booker, and consecutive home victories, as we mentioned at the top, at stake in tonight's game. The other streak would be Princeton and Brown. That one discontinued back in 2002. UCLA, Washington State at 47 and counting. I think that UCLA-USC one may go away sometime soon with that battle going on out in the Pac-10 and Tim Floyd going up against Ben Howland on a regular basis.
It still boggles my mind that in the history of a conference, one team wouldn't have won and put on the floor.
Graves re-enters the game, replacing Thomas for North Carolina. Clemson is 7 of 11 from beyond the arc. Rivers and Hammonds have been lighting it up. Off the ball, a foul against Booker. A little too much body on Tyler Hansbrough that time. Timeout, 3:49 remaining. KC from downtown with no sunshine band needed. They lead by 10.
Sometimes even cold weather needs a refreshing twist. Miller Chill, the only light beer brewed with a hint of lime and salt. Chill is in the air.
Get ready for an explosion of indescribably crunchy, cheesy flavor. It's the new crunchy, cheesy crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Cheese baked right onto the crust for a crunch that unlocks a flavor shockwave. Try one now for just $11.99. And now get 2 free bottles of new G2 from Gatorade when you buy a crunchy, cheesy crust pizza. Get more, not less. Pizza Hut. Order online.
Like zoinks, it's the cable guy.
Well, now that DirecTV has way more HD channels than cable, he had to try to stop everyone from switching to DirecTV.
Get over 90 of the best channels in HD now on DirecTV.
Sometimes even cold weather needs a refreshing twist. Miller Chill, the only light beer brewed with a hint of lime and salt. Chill is in the air.
The most gorgeous women in the world all want the same thing, and only you can give it to them. Tune in Thursday as these beautiful ladies try to win your vote on the Hooters Best Damn Dream Girls special. Then log on to foxsports.com, keyword Best Damn, and pick your favorite. The Hooters Best Damn Dream Girls special, Thursday on FSN.
Tim Brando, Mike Jerminski, Jen Hildreth. We've touched on it a couple of times, Mike. That matchup back in December. I think up until this time, this was the best game of the regular season in college basketball, and they really bodied up Hansbrough.
No, really, and they came at him with Booker and Mays, and there's the shot right there. Wayne Ellington just broke their heart. He was special that night. Hansbrough with the react, and that was really the only time they led in the whole game. And there you see the battle right there of the off guards and the wings. Casey Rivers, 24 points, Ellington a career high. And he is starting to get on that track here early in this game team. And also North Carolina doing a better job taking care of the ball. 7 turns in the first 5 minutes. They've only had 3 in the last 10.
Really, that game was a tone setter for what we'd see in college basketball early in January. In every conference, we've seen some amazing games. Ray Grant just into the game now for Clemson. The Grant family in the college basketball circles, and of course NBA fame as well. Talking about those extended win streaks that UCLA had back in the day, they still had some pretty good teams
USC did with Mo Layton and company. But Tim Floyd got a win at Foley Pavilion earlier this year. Shot clock under 5. Oglesby's got to launch it over Graves. And that's a shot clock violation.
And Oglesby has continued to struggle against North Carolina. They've done a good job defending him. They've limited his three-point looks, and they've made him a driver.
Mays comes back into the game, replacing Grant. Quentin Thomas, no points, 4 assists, and 3 turnovers in the game. Oglesby checking in now. Thompson needs some help. Thomas comes up with it and feeds Ellington. Missed the chippy. Hansbrough has it knocked away. Ellington misses from point-blank range. Sam Perry collects it for the Tigers.
Talk about 2 improbable shots for Ellington to miss after he'd been on that hot streak. Wow.
Hard to believe that Hansbrough missed that shot as well.
That's what the shot blockers, though, for Clemson, get you thinking about things in the paint.
Sykes wants it. Mays up high. Gives it up to Oglesby, and again, he's got it with the shot clock under 10. High off the window. Boy, he just is in tough luck against Carolina. That's an over-the-back against Raymond Sykes, the 6'9 junior from Jacksonville, Florida.
And he got a shot up, but I don't know that Oglesby is a guy you want with the ball in the hands with the shot clock running down, Tim. And you want to try to get up there and let your offensive rebounders go, but Sykes clearly coming over the back of Hansbrough.
He has had some tough games against these Tar Heels, no doubt. It's a tough matchup for him, but he has really been one of the great stories of this resurgent Clemson Tiger team for the most part.
Well, you know what? There's a thing called scouting report in film, and as the season goes along, teams figure you out, and you have to improve just to stay where you are. So teams now know they're going to jam him and not give him any open looks.
Well, the ACC will expose your weakness in a heartbeat, especially when you're in round 2, and that's where we are, past the halfway mark of the college basketball season.
Very few secrets out there anymore.
Hammonds along with Stitt. On the floor with Perry, Sykes, and Mays for the Clemson Tigers. Nice cut by Stitt, and the runner goes.
Yeah, much better control pulling up inside. That was a good play out on the perimeter. It's interesting that Clemson has not been able to get into their pressure.
Thomas, nice delivery. Hansbrough missed again from point-blank range. That was a good feed by Quentin Thomas. He blew by the freshman and then delivered a nice bounce pass to Tyler Hansbrough. Hammonds, too strong. Oh, nice work by Perry. This time a foul will go over the back. Mays got involved on the offensive glass. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, ACC Sunday Night Hoops halftime show. The FSN final score with the latest highlights and scores from around the country. Jen Hildreth would have some ACC news and notes, and G-Man and I will recap the first half. That's all coming up on the ACC Sunday Night halftime hoop show.
Well, Timmy, you've got the 2 best offensive rebounding teams in the league, and Clemson at 16.7, Carolina right behind them 16.5. And for the Tigers, a lot of times the best pass in their offense is a missed shot.
Yeah.
And they just go after it, and they go after it hard on the offensive glass. And Carolina's done a decent job of just trying to keep people on their backs.
Mays picked up the foul over the back, just his first of the game. Perry leaves. Casey Rivers comes back onto the floor for Oliver Purnell. Ginyard back at the stripe. 3 in the game for Marcus Ginyard. 43-34. Just over a minute to play here in the opening half. Shot clock again under 10. Stitt in traffic. Boy, he can get into those cracks, can he? That is a special freshman player.
They should find that doctor and give him a raise. That's after 2 weeks of knee surgery. I think his patient's doing very well in this game.
Someone find that scope, will you? That's a quality scope.
Out of bounds, the ball belongs to the Tigers after another turnover. Their 13th. We are at the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Tim Brando, Mike Jaminski, Jen Hildreth. ACC Sunday Night Hoops. Already many of you have seen some quality basketball. Washington winning at home against UCLA.
What a huge boost to morale for Clemson if they can carry a double-figure lead into the half and get this final shot.
That's a bump by Hansbrough. First foul against Tyler Hansbrough with 11 seconds left.
Excellent call that time by Ted Allen. It's Hansbrough clearly moving on that show. You have to be stationary if you want to get out and do that.
Never got into the bonus, though, so it was a good one to give. The clock winding down. Stitt finds Potter. He launches. And that's it for the first half. Boy, what a performance by Clemson. Turning over Roy Williams' club without Ty Lawson, in essence, for the third straight game, because they lost him in the first 4 minutes a week ago against Florida State. And the pressure of Purnell's team has been truly the difference. He's standing by with Jen Hildreth.
Well, you said it, Tim. The pressure has been the difference defensively. Coach, what have you guys done so well there?
Well, we have turned them over, but then we started fouling, and we had to get out of the press a little bit. We didn't recognize what defense we're supposed to be in. We're in the 1-3-1 a couple of times, and Mr. Simons gave them easy baskets, free throw blockouts. We're not defending well enough. Obviously, we're defending okay, but we're not defending well enough.
Offensively, anything else you need to see second half?
Not really. We just need to go inside more. We're getting the ball inside on penetration right now. As long as it goes in the paint, I don't care.
All right, thanks, Coach. Seems to be a trend there, right, Tim? Go inside. It's what he told us last time against Carolina.
Absolutely. Coming up, a lot of highlights. Plenty of Atlantic 10 action today. You'll get all of that, plus Jen Hildreth with ACC News and Notes. All of that coming up on ACC Sunday Night Hoops, presented by Pizza Hut.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
It's a crunchy hot wing with no sauce.
Crunchy on the outside, spicy on the inside. The sauceless hot wing is at KFC. Get a bucket of 20 or try 6 wings for $2.99. Only at KFC.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for a laptop.
Well, we have all the best brands, but before I can help you out, I'd like to get to know you first.
Okay.
Okay, so once your little niece Chloe arrives, you're going to want to get the Gateway. It has a ton of memory for home videos.
You're good. How many kids will I have?
4.
All the best brands. No interest for 18 months, plus Geek Squad support. Only at Best Buy.
Hello, may I help you?
Yes, Clyde and Keith to see Emmett Smith. Emmett, your gray facial hair has put you in a rocking chair.
Your beard is weird.
Your stash is trash.
Oh, it's bad.
Just for Men Gel penetrates tough gray and puts it away in 5 easy minutes. His edge is back.
He's right on track.
Backfield in motion.
He moves and grooves.
He scores.
Just for Men Gel.
Keep your edge.
Comfortable in jeans that are tough. I'm comfortable in jeans that fit great. I'm comfortable in Wrangler.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built tough with 14-ounce heavyweight denim. Built comfortable with a stone-washed finish and relaxed fit. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Satisfaction guaranteed. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
It's a crunchy hot wing with no sauce.
Crunchy on the outside, spicy on the inside. The sauceless hot wing is at KFC. Get a bucket of 20 or try 6 wings for $2.99. Only at KFC.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, the sequel everybody's been waiting for. The Hooters Best Damn Dream Girl 2. This week at 11.
Need a lift?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford.
You too? Get in.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck.
Welcome to your ACC Sunday Night Hoops halftime show. How about Clemson? On the road, leading North Carolina 45-34 over the number 3 team in the nation. Hey there, I'm Andrew Siciliano with a final score update. UCLA has gone to 2 straight Final Fours. The common thread both years, a loss in Seattle to Washington. And that's where the 5th-ranked Bruins were Sunday. Huskies, oh, by the way, have lost 4 straight overall. Second half, they lead by 6. Under 3 to go. Justin Detman in the paint, hangs and hits. And then Detman again gets to the rack. He had 20 on the day, and the Huskies lead by 9. Final minute. Huskies up 5, trying to put it away, and UW will do that. John Brockman under Kevin Love. 71-61. UW and Lorenzo Romar an upset over the Bruins. Let's go to the Big Ten. Indiana, another tough road test, this time on the road at Ohio State. In Columbus, DJ White, Eric Gordon, they were pretty much the offense in the first half. There's White, the jam. Here's Gordon, a long 3. They combined for 21 of the first 29 for the Hoosiers. Second half, White, 21-13. Indiana puts it away, finally wins a big one, 59-53 in Columbus. Let's go to Daytona. Poll day for next week's Indy 500, or rather Daytona 500, beg your pardon. Michael Waltrip, remember last year's DQ, he came in second. Defending Cup champ Jimmy Johnson makes a statement. He wins. He is on the poll. Don't forget, tonight, tune in, 10:30, your FSN Final Score presented by DirecTV. Highlights LeBron against Carmelo, and also Sean Marion making his debut against the Lakers. Clemson dominated. On the road, the 3rd-ranked Tar Heels up by 11 is the 52-game losing streak coming to an end. Tim Brando, Mike Jaminski, more from Chapel Hill. Your ACC Sunday Night Hoops halftime show rolls on.
For over 50 years, the tradition of excellence has continued in the Atlantic Coast Conference. But it's not all about trophies and winning. It's also about sportsmanship, showing respect, rising above it all, and being a leader for both fans and players alike. In the ACC, we're working hard to continue making sportsmanship a tradition. The ACC, a tradition of excellence, then, now, and always.
How far will we actually go to show that all gasolines are not the same?
As far as it takes. In this case, 5,000 miles.
We're not getting out till we've proven Shell gasoline stops gunky buildup on critical engine parts that low-quality discount gasoline can leave behind.
When's the next rest stop? Hold it! Do you have... No. Go fish?
Look, Shell gasoline stop gunky buildup, helping your car to perform at its best. So you ready for another 5,000 miles?
You can haul your boat to the cabin like everyone else. Or you can haul your cabin to your boat like no one else. The Toyota Tundra, Motor Trend's 2008 Truck of the Year. Tows over 10,000 pounds and brakes on command.
Now get $5,000 in total savings on a new 08 Toyota Tundra Double Cab SR5.
When you have the best plans under the sun, isn't it nice to know there's a bank you can count on? That bank is Atlantic National. We offer competitive rates and flexible terms, plus local processing, local answers, and the kind of concern you'd expect from a locally owned bank. Whether your plans include a new home, a vacation retreat, home improvements, or investment property, talk with Atlantic National. People like us because we're a local bank that appreciates your business.
You are watching FSN South.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops is brought to you by Acura, Advance, and by Best Buy. Best Buy pledges to make away games feel like home games. That's HD done right. Now let's join Jen Hilder.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tim. You know, this game so far, everything you would have expected, very tight, but maybe the score a little surprising with Clemson up 11 over North Carolina. Both of these teams jockeying for position in that upper half of the ACCs. There's really a lot going on with the teams up there. You got to look at the Maryland Terrapins right now. They are so hot, having won 10 of their last 12. James Gist had 30 points in the win over NC State on yesterday. Gravis Vasquez a rebound away from a triple-double. Of course, the hottest team, you got to say Duke, 9-0 in the conference. Everybody else is trying to keep up. Individually, Sean Singletary still keeping up his scoring streak, 44 straight games in double figures. And Virginia Tech, Seth Greenberg's team, having a little bit of trouble, and their road doesn't get any easier as they come here to Chapel Hill and then go to Maryland, although right now, North Carolina's struggling a little to defend their home court. We'll look at the first half as they try to come back against Clemson when we return on ACC Sunday Night Hoops.
I made the first batches of Sam Adams in my kitchen as a home brewer.
6 weeks after he started the business, Boston Lager took the Best Beer in America award.
Last year, more than 1,900 homebrews were entered into the Sam Adams Longshot competition.
Homebrewers make some awesome beers. With Longshot, beer drinkers could discover how good American homebrewers are.
And that is good. Now try the Longshot winners and enter this year's competition.
Get your homebrew kit and instructional video at samadams.com.
Just brewing.
Introducing the fastest accelerating, most agile side-by-side in the world. The new Ranger Razor. The wait is over. Razor sharp side-by-side performance. See it up close at your local Polaris Ranger dealer.
Challenge, discipline, strategy, split-second excitement. This season, Academy Sports and Outdoors goes deep with all the hot brands and newest products for all your baseball needs. Apparel, footwear, equipment, at low prices every day. Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've got
the Golden Isles, well known for leaving lasting impressions. And so are the real estate professionals at Cantrell Properties. From their caring, personal approach to service to their proven expertise in the local market, they are known for leaving impressions to last a lifetime. For your next move, call the team at Cantrell Properties or go online today at CantrellPropertiesinc.com.
It's good to know your banker. That's why people like Atlantic National. We're locally owned and managed by people who call Glenn County home. At some banks, you find yourself calling an 800 number or talking to an out-of-town loan committee. But at Atlantic National, you deal directly with people who get things done with less hassle and better service. If your bank isn't coming through for you, talk with a local bank that appreciates your business. Atlantic National, where others have their branches, we have our roots.
You are watching FSN South.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops presented by Pizza Hut continues. Tim Brando along with Mike Cheminsky. In this history of 52 consecutive wins at home for North Carolina, only 4 times, Mike, has Clemson had a lead, and by far this is their largest margin ever at the break.
And it started right from the jump ball, really applying a lot of defensive pressure on North Carolina. They built up a double-figure lead, and they've kept that throughout. Cliff Hammond's outstanding right from the start, hitting a couple of big three-point baskets, 11 points for him. Casey Rivers, all of his points coming from downtown, 4 of 4, perfect behind the arc. He leads the Tigers with 12 points. Of course, your player of the year candidate, Tyler Hansbrough, got things going with this drive. 12 points for him, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, doing all of his work in the paint. Wayne Ellington starting to find his stroke, struggled early, but really came alive for the Tar Heels in the second 10 minutes of that half. 11 points for him.
Second half and the statistical data when we return to Chapel Hill.
Carolina is committed to opportunity, to shaping generations of leaders in education, business, medicine, and more. Now, Carolina makes a commitment to keep these opportunities within everyone's reach.
Carolina Covenant is a promise. It's a promise to help kids from low-income families get a college education debt-free. It's a promise that Carolina is proud to make because everyone deserves a shot.
You can haul your boat to the cabin like everyone else. Or you can haul your cabin to your boat like no one else. The Toyota Tundra, Motor Trend's 2008 Truck of the Year. Tows over 10,000 pounds and brakes on command.
Now get $5,000 in total savings on a new 08 Toyota Tundra Double Cab SR5. Toyota, moving trucks forward.
Every Saturday morning, Academy Sports Outdoors will bring you great shows featuring some of the region's best outdoor adventures and golf courses. It's award-winning action everyone can enjoy with your one-stop shop for everything your family needs to stay connected to the outdoors. You won't want to miss a minute of Academy Sports and Outdoors Saturday morning, right here on FSN South.
Can I help you find anything today?
I was just looking for a laptop, something to help me organize my photos and stuff.
All right, well, we've got a few you should check out. We've got all the best brands. We've got Apple, now even Dell.
Nice.
Gentlemen, on your right, all the best computer brands. Something you won't see anywhere else.
Dell, HP, Apple. Think you'll do any video editing? What?
Please keep your hands and feet inside.
Our new computer lineup. It's a sight to see. Now all the best brands and Geek Squad support are all in one place. Best Buy.
Get ready for an explosion of indescribably crunchy, cheesy flavor. It's the new Crunchy Cheesy Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. Cheese baked right onto the crust for a crunch that unlocks a flavor shockwave. Try one now for just $11.99. And now get 2 free bottles of new G2 from Gatorade when you buy a Crunchy Cheesy Crust Pizza. Get more, not less. Pizza Hut. Order online.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, the sequel everybody's been waiting for. The Hooters Best Damn Dream Girl 2. This week at 11.
We just came to party down. We just came to party, 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 party.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops is presented by Pizza Hut. Crunch into a cheesy blast of indescribable flavor with Pizza Hut's new Crunchy Cheesy Crust Pizza. Get more, not less, only from Pizza Hut. And brought to you in part by New Miller Chill, a refreshing light beer brewed with a hint of lime and salt. A view from the state-of-the-art North Carolina Basketball Museum. I had a chance to get a tour of that before tonight's game. What a magnificent facility that is. We welcome you back. Second half is underway. Clemson in control with an 11-point lead, and Hammonds picks up right where he left off with a lay-in. It's a 13-point Tigers lead.
Again, scouting report that time. He's left-handed. You can't let him go on that side of the floor.
And another rejection to open on the defensive end. This one by Mays. Thompson's got to take that shot. I don't know that he wanted the bank to be open late on Sunday, but he gets it anyway. It's a 6. He has 6 points on the night. Hansbrough the rebound. Outlets to Quentin Thomas. Perhaps after a bit of good fortune for Thompson, we'll see if that ignites North Carolina. Sets the pick for Ellington.
Bit of a gamble that time by Rivers going underneath the screen, gave Ellington a pretty good look.
If you look at our scoring leaders, Hammonds and Rivers were lights out in the opening half, and Booker got the job done inside. And for North Carolina, Hansbrough and Ellington and little else. Booker knows Hansbrough's got no help. It was a quality move. It went crying off the front rim. Be interesting to see, Mike, if Hansbrough's willing to come outside and face up in the second half rather than battling inside. What a save by Booker.
Wow, great defensive play on the block.
Rivers Boy, that was a marvelous save by Perry that ignited that break rather than Booker.
Clemson playing North Carolina basketball here early, getting out on the open floor and running.
Hansbrough decides to put it on the deck. The runner does not fall. Booker clears it. He got hit in the chops trying to shake it off as Hammonds sets up the offense, and that'll be a turnover. That one was, I think, caused by the problem with Booker from the very beginning. He got hurt underneath.
Here's the look. You get the block. First of all inside, and then Perry making a nice play back. And that gets K.C. Rivers out, and as hot as he's been, you don't want to give him easy layups in the open floor. You want to make him work for his points.
No, you don't. Perry leaves the game. Potter has come in for him for Clemson. Clinton Thomas leaves it on the baseline. Thompson rejected again by Booker.
Like great defensive help. Tough in that situation. You want to be aggressive and attack the rim, but maybe he would have been better served to come underneath and use the rim as an ally.
Thompson and Hansbrough, it's very rare that you'd say this, Mike, but they got to be wondering, you deal with Booker and obviously Mays, and then all of a sudden here comes Sykes, Potter, and company. So much help on that front line to help this team.
There's a look, a nice two-man game inside, and the body. Trevor Booker really not backing away from anybody. You see two of the best offensive rebounders in the league there going at one another.
Ball was deflected, a takeaway. Clinton Thomas, end to end.
Miscommunication on the inbounds pass was the first pass to the fast break. Clinton Thomas getting a little hand from the hometown crowd here.
Hammonds bumped by Thomas. Let's take a look at the first half stats, and the thing that you'll notice right from the outset, the turnover issue for North Carolina. They doubled up Clemson in that
and 13 points
area.
Off those turnovers.
Absolutely.
Too, so effective. And you look at for North Carolina, between free throws and second chance points, 23 of their 35 at the half.
Hammond's great ball movement to Potter. The iron unkind, pulled down by Ellington. Still no numbers for North Carolina. Ginyard with a rainbow. Excellent recognition that time by Ellington to give it up to Marcus Ginyard. And they're on their feet in Chapel Hill.
Well, he talked about it, 40% on the year to me, but had two big ones against Duke, so feeling a lot more confident from behind the arc.
Rivers. Ginyard had it. I believe he got undercut. He did. Foul will go against Trevor Booker. That's number 3. So an important foul against one of the Tigers' bookends. 3 minutes and 50 seconds deep, and Raymond Sykes will be called upon to replace Booker.
There's a look. Good hustle play down the other end. Saves it to his teammate. Saves a possession.
Inside to Stevenson. Timeout, Clemson.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done.
This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-350-9026. That's 1-800-350-9026. Call now.
It's getting a little frenzied inside the Smith Center as North Carolina has pulled to within 6 after being down 11 at the half. And when I spoke with Roy Williams at halftime, he said, guys, someone punched you in the mouth to start this game. You can't just back up the whole game. He questioned their heart. I think we've seen that a little bit already here in the second half. He said we missed some layups, some easy layups. We've got to focus and finish and not think about what the defense is doing. And defensively, he said we've got to do a better job of guarding dribble penetration, Tim.
His team opens up with a 7-0 run here in the second half. In the midst of that 7-0 run now, they cut that lead to 6 after Clemson got off to a quick start and led by 13. And you look at our just for men field goal shooting, you got to hang in there. And they've done that, staying in the game. Just for men with their Tar Heels' ability to get some defensive opportunities, turning it into easy offensive points.
I thought that was a good timeout by Oliver Purnell, and what you need right now from Clemson is poise. They knew that North Carolina was going to come back and take a run at them. Let's see if they can get a good possession right here and regain some confidence.
It's at this stage of the game, too, you begin to wonder about the long history of this series. There's a foul. It's going to go against North Carolina. Stevenson picks it up. That's Sykes by the jersey. First foul on Stevenson. Much to the chagrin of Roy Williams and company. But they have carved into the Tigers' lead that was 11 at halftime. It's now 6.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
It's a crunchy hot wing with no sauce.
Crunchy on the outside, spicy on the inside. The sauceless hot wing is at KFC. Get a bucket of 20 or try 6 wings for $2.99. Only at KFC.
That guy already knows what this is. Because you're not that guy, there's Helzberg Diamonds, where you could learn this is a graduated diamond journey pendant with 7-round brilliant cut diamonds, now specially priced at just $99.99. Helzberg Diamonds, helping regular guys since 1915.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for a laptop.
Well, we have all the best brands, but before I can help you out, I'd like to get to know you first.
Okay.
Okay, so once your little niece Chloe arrives, you're going to want to get the Gateway. It has a ton of memory for home videos.
Good. How many kids will I have?
4.
All the best brands. No interest for 18 months, plus Geek Squad support. Only at Best Buy.
Sometimes even cold weather needs a refreshing twist. Miller Chill, the only light beer brewed with a hint of lime and salt. Chill is in the air.
You bolted upright in the middle of the night, realizing what that new account really means. That business of yours just doubled in size overnight. You'll need cash management, payroll, insurance. You'll need sleep. You need BB&T. Banking, insurance, investments. BB&T. There's opportunity here.
Next Sunday night, we'll have for you in Winston-Salem the reigning ACC Rookie of the Week, Jeff Teague, and his Demon Deacons, undefeated at home this season. They take on DeMarcus Nelson and number 2 Duke. Join us again next week, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific for ACC Sunday Night Hoops, presented by Pizza Hut. There you see the numbers on the Whirlwind Teague, and I think you would agree, Dino Gaudio has done an incredible job this season.
I think they're one of the good feel-good stories in college basketball. The way they've kind of hung in, they play very, very well at home, and they have the fastest backcourt in the league with Ish Smith along with Jeff Teague.
Rivers works inside to Mays. Hansbrough well defended that time. Remember, Mays playing with that broken left hand. It's amazing that he's able to shoot as well as he is through the bulk of the season playing with it. Injured it during the warm-up of the first game between these two. Stevenson.
Tough shot to shoot that little floater right in front of the rim. That may be one of the toughest shots in basketball.
Roy Williams wants him to be more aggressive. That ball was knocked away and deflected. It belongs to North Carolina. I'm amazed that that ball is going the other way. I felt that ball was deflected, and it should be Clemson basketball. Oliver Purnell agrees. That was a miss. Game moves so quickly from time to time. This is a quality officiating crew. But it is a game of possession sometimes. That's a block against Sykes. Just about every pass going deep down the court is arguably going to be deflected 50% of the time when these two play.
You look at two guys, that time Sykes picking up an unnecessary foul, and this is the thing that buried Clemson early. Oliver Purnell talked about it. 12 personal fouls, and North Carolina getting into the penalty early in that half really helped them.
Heels have been on this spurt since they trailed by 13 to open this half after the first bucket was made by Clemson. Thomas with Hansbrough, Green, Ellington, and Stevenson on the floor. Few decides to take it into the paint. Pulled down by Sykes.
Solid defensive possession that time for Clemson. Not a lot happening for North Carolina. Not a lot of ball movement.
Hammonds backdoors Green. Textbook. And DeMontez Stitt was able to give him a quality dish. Length of the floor. Ellington stripped. Stitt then lost his dribble to Hansbrough. That's a block. He flopped and he got called for it. Bernard Clinton would have none of it. Second foul on the freshman DeMontez Stitt.
Boy, a couple of stout defensive plays there back to back. How about Stitt getting back and getting the steal, and then before this, yeah, you got to wait till you get hit before you go down. He was already well into his lean. I think if he had just played solid defense, he could have gotten up underneath Hansbrough.
Look how far they've got Hansbrough away from the basket. Now, to his credit, he's able to put it on the deck and drive and follow. But that's a job well done by the Tigers. If you force Hansbrough into that position, Mike, doesn't that mean you've done something defensively?
He's playing out on the floor a little bit more, and the thing is, you're just making him work so hard for his points.
And the answer from Potter.
Really impressed with David Potter. Really, because of Sam Perry's injury, got extended minutes early in the year, and that benefited this team.
Ellington for three. Hammonds tapped it out, got it into the hands of Potter.
If they're gonna milk this one home, Cliff Hammonds is going to be the key player. They need his experience and poise.
You didn't know about Cliff Hammonds before, you should by now. Stitt for three. And he has been well tutored by Cliff Hammonds, says DeMontez Stitt.
And that's the future. That's the future right there. But the present is Cliff Hammonds, and it's nice to have a safety blanket out there for DeMontez Stitt.
We were talking at halftime. I ran into a couple of North Carolina writers, Barry Jacobs included, Mike, and I said, you know, I don't know of a player that's ever been as unheralded in the ACC as Cliff Hammonds. I mean, when you think about it, Vernon Hamilton, Grayson Marshall, all of these guys, people knew more about them than they ever did about Cliff Hammonds. Hammonds is just a fantastic talent. Does so many things for this team. Green on the wing. Potter pulls it down. Numbers. Stitt. Well, that's just beating Carolina at their own game.
Right, that's Rivers running a well-run break that time.
Will Graves has come onto the floor for North Carolina.
It's a smaller lineup out there for Clemson right now, but a lot of firepower and a lot of speed.
Green goes reversal. The attack of the glass by Graves leads to an opening for Oglesby. Oglesby deflected again.
Should have pulled it out. Didn't have numbers that time.
Green, that's a block. Foul will go against the Tigers. Montez Stitt picking it up, and that's his third in the open floor. The freshman now has 3. Just over 8 minutes gone here in Chapel Hill.
It's gonna work. I don't think it will. Let's go. Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
For my girls.
Yes! I'm glad we did it.
Just for Men.
Like zoinks, it's the cable guy.
Well, now that DirecTV has way more HD channels than cable, he had to try to stop everyone from switching to DirecTV.
Get over 90 of the best channels in HD now on DirecTV.
How far will we actually go to show that all gasolines are not the same?
As far as it takes. In this case, 5,000 miles.
We're not getting out, so we've proven Shell gasoline stops gunky buildup on critical engine parts that low-quality discount gasoline can leave behind.
Where's the next rest stop? Hold it! Do you have... No. Go fish?
Look, Shell gasoline stop gunky buildup, helping your car to perform at its best. So you ready for another 5,000 miles?
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
It's a crunchy hot wing with no sauce.
Crunchy on the outside, spicy on the inside. The sauceless hot wing is at KFC. Get a bucket of 20 or try 6 wings for $2.99. Only at KFC.
Need a lift?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford.
You two, get in.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck.
All the action of Nashville hockey all season long on FSN South.
There you see the Carolina Basketball Museum, brand new, more than 450 artifacts, 40 cases of memorabilia, a 6-minute game day theater presentation, and a history of the heritage of Carolina basketball narrated by our colleague Jim Nance of CBS Sports. It's wonderful, Mike. I got a chance to go in there today. Lenny Rosenbluth, by the way, we just had his record for free throws broken by Tyler Hansbrough, was in there earlier today.
Part of that, he knows a little bit about perfection, Tim.
Yes, he does.
32-0 and 57 on the national championship team with Frank McGuire.
Hammond's giving Clemson its largest lead of the game. They're on a 9-0 run after Carolina got it to within 6. Thompson, not there, but he's fouled. I'm going to tell you something about this. You walk in, if you've ever been to Springfield, the College Basketball Hall of Fame or the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, this particular museum, every bit reminding me when I was in there of that particular museum. It is just fantastic.
Well, you think of the programs that could fill a museum like that: North Carolina, Duke, Kansas,
yeah, absolutely.
Kentucky, UCLA. Do you think they have enough memorabilia to put something like that together?
And much of what was written to help this museum become a reality, our friend and colleague and the mayor of Chapel Hill, Freddie Kiger, had a lot to do with that, and he was my tour guide this afternoon. Thank you, Freddie. One of the best, along with our longtime statistician here, John Madry. I think we figured it up. John is now Hawaii 5-0 in the Carolina Duke game. He's done stats here 50 times. He's 5-0. 60-47 our score. Clemson by 13. Stitt with a wraparound pass that Grant was not ready for. Leads to a turnover for Quentin Thomas. Thompson takes it into the lane, rejected by Grant. That's another one of those great big bodies that Purnell can bring. It's almost as if they've got 2 of everything on the low block.
Well, they can bring Dre Grant along slowly, but he really is a presence inside.
And a steal off the inbound. Grant looking to set a pick. Mays does, and Rivers uses it. Mays keeps it alive, stays with it for the follow.
What an effort by James Mays.
6 in the game for him. Ginyard. that looked to be an offensive foul. It was. Yes, absolutely. I think Tony Green had a block. Bernard Clinton had a charge. Roy Williams a little upset that Bernard won out.
Here's the run out, but clearly stepping in, established guarding position, got his hands up, went vertical. That is a very poised defensive play for a freshman.
I would agree. Ten and a half minutes remaining. Hansbrough steps in off a lazy pass by Stitt. Count it, and a foul.
Hansbrough is so good at that, anticipating the passing lanes and knifing through. And this is one, I think, if you're DeMontez Stitt, you got to let it go. Either you wrap the guy up and put him at the line, or just let it go and get the ball in. Don't make it a three-point play.
And that's his fourth foul. He'll have to leave the game. So 2 errors made that time. A lackadaisical pass followed by a foul on the other end, and will send Hansbrough to the line. 17 for him. Another turnover. North Carolina amps up the pressure. It's amazing when you begin making baskets, Mike, you're able to start your pressure a bit more easily. And when North Carolina hits a drought, they run into some difficulty from a defensive standpoint.
Some teams that press don't like to be pressed. And that time, Mays just casual with the inbounds pass. You have to make sure you have an outlet.
On the alley-oop inside, Rivers was there for it. Cannot say enough, Mike, about today's scouting report that Clemson went over, particularly off those inbounds plays. They have snuffed out North Carolina many times underneath their own basket.
And they talked specifically about that lob to Thompson right there and played it very well. Mays has got to be careful handling the ball with that bad left hand. So far from the basket, Hansbrough can pick his pocket.
Vance setting a pick. Hammond's a little stutter step on a blow by, right by Thomas. 19 for Hammonds.
Stood him up with that little hesitation, dribble, tough play, going right, finishing left.
Ellington in traffic. Would have counted had it gone. Block goes against Hammonds.
There's the look. We talk about it. He's a left-handed player. There's the little hesitation. Quentin Thomas anticipating a move back to the other side. Cliff Hammonds just continues to play with poise.
That foul was against Grant rather than Hammonds. Ellington at the free throw line. First foul against Jerry Grant.
Under the 10-minute mark, Tim, a little unease now setting in on the crowd.
Yeah.
Thinking that they're starting to look at the clock and the score.
We mentioned Jerry Grant in the family tree. He is the son of Harvey Grant, yes, the twin brother of Horace. And similar to his dad and uncle, a raw player from an offensive standpoint. But he has been coached up by the likes of Buck Williams, a man you remember well.
One of the 2 great power forwards I was able to play with, him and Charles Barkley. Buck will be in the Hall of Fame someday.
3-on-2, Grant. Nice pass to Potter. And he gets the shooter's touch off the back rim.
Showing not only a 3-point touch, but the ability to work in size. He's got some good size to him. Mays just daring Hansbrough to shoot that shot.
There's his normal move, and he does get to the free throw line off of it. Mays picks up the foul, his second.
I think more, Tim, they've got to attack him off the dribble. When Hansbrough puts the ball on the deck that far out on the rim, they've got to get somebody digging in to give Mays some help.
Well, Thursday, FSN College Hoops returns. Another Pac-10 showdown. 9th-ranked Stanford and Arizona State. Coverage begins Thursday, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, right here on FSN. Herb Sendek, formerly at North Carolina State and now at Arizona State, and this kid Harden have really made an impact in the Pac-10.
Yeah, happy for Herb that he's found a home out there and has really done a terrific job with that program.
Stitt comes back into the game with 4 fouls to give Casey Rivers a breather.
Well, once again, Clemson foul trouble. That 2 fouls. North Carolina will be in the double bonus. North Carolina has only been called for 3 fouls to this point.
And another thing to remember as we get into the last 10 minutes of this game with 9:12 remaining, the biggest problem for Oliver Purnell late in games, shooting free throws. And if North Carolina puts them at the line, And they undoubtedly will at some point have to do that. Clemson will have to convert either the front end of 1-and-1s or 2-shot opportunities. Stitt. Boy, no one blocking the baseline, and DeMonte Stitt comes down gingerly on his ankle.
Yeah, and but he is a blur with the basketball.
Ellington. I think they're going to have to get Stitt out of there. They're going to quickly press him. Leads to a near turnover. Ellington almost picked it.
Stitt's looking over at the bench.
Yeah,
I don't know if he wants to come out.
They've got to get him out. Because they almost got an easy turnover because of it. He has 13 points, does DeMonte Stitt. Hammonds, yes, and a foul. Wow. Is he driven? I asked him before the game, have you ever been a part of a team that had quite the chemistry of this club? He says, you know, no, I haven't, because we've got such a concentration of younger players to go with veteran guys. It's really made a difference.
There's the look, getting to that left hand again, and this is an area where North Carolina has had problems defending off of the dribble. Just too easy getting to the rim, and if there's a shortcoming for Hammond, it's at the line where he's 38%.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And we may see more early fouling from North Carolina than you'd normally see. Thomas high off the window, not there. Pulled down by Rivers. It's never happened. 52 consecutive times in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Clemson's gotten on a bus and gone home with an L. Kenyard fighting for it. Tie ball with the arrow going in this direction. The Clemson Tigers will retain possession.
And Oliver Purnell told Jen going off the court about wanting to get inside more, and they've been not necessarily posting people up and getting into Booker, but certainly trying to do it off the drive.
It took a while for Purnell to get the kind of player that he's accustomed to having for the system that he likes to utilize, and boy, has he been able to pull that off in just a few years' time.
There's also gotten some people who put it in the basket. I mean, he built it on defense, but he's also realized that he's got to score the ball, too.
Sykes. Rebound to Danny Green. Much different, this North Carolina team without Ty Lawson, particularly when the shot clock's winding down. Hansbrough. He's hacked. He should be living at the line because they're going to feed and fan him the rest of the way. High anxiety in Chapel Hill. Could Clemson finally end this incredibly long losing streak in Chapel Hill? Stay tuned. We'll have the answer.
To receive chocolate. It just makes a woman so happy. I'd love to have a box like this for Valentine's Day. It's just not complete without a box of chocolate. It's just tradition.
Don't give her just any chocolates. Give her Russell Stover chocolates with the famous Russell Stover bow.
December 26th, 2004. The sea delivers untold devastation to Southeast Asia. Soon after, it delivers something else.
I'm Senior Airman Eric Capuano with the United States Air Force. One of my most significant moments overseas is when I have Army personnel come up to me in the aircraft hangar, and they come over and shake my hand, and they say, "Are you with Predator?" And I say, "Well, yeah." They say, "Well, I was just out on a combat patrol, and a Predator saved my life." We got a call in on the radio saying there was an ambush coming in, and because of that intel, we were able to get out of there before things got bad. This is going to save someone's life today.
See more videos at DoSomethingAmazing.com.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
It's a crunchy hot wing with no sauce.
Crunchy on the outside, spicy on the inside. The sauceless hot wing is at KFC. Get a bucket of 20 or try 6 wings for $2.99. Only at KFC.
That guy already knows what this is. Because you're not that guy, there's Hellsberg Diamonds, where you could learn this is a graduated diamond journey pendant with 7-round brilliant cut diamonds, now specially priced at just $99.99. Hellsberg Diamonds, helping regular guys since 1915.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period.
Thursday, it's the sequel everybody's been waiting for. If you thought our Hooters Dream Girl competition couldn't get any hotter, wait till you see this.
I'm very competitive. I want it bad.
It's the Hooters Best Damn Dream Girl 2. Friday, we've got photo finishes, bumps, bangs, and even some bruises.
Kale hits him. Earnhardt gets him.
It's the Best Damn Top 50 NASCAR Moments. This week at 11.
Clemson leads by 14 with 7:33 remaining. ACC Sunday Night Hoops rolls on, along with Jen Hildreth and Mike Jaminski, Tim Brando. The two guards, Rivers and Hammonds, Mike, have combined for 35, half of the 70 points for the Tigers, and they've really had North Carolina no answer to this point.
It's been a nice start to the second half, which they needed to give them some more confidence and carry this over. But Tim, you look at it, the big disparity at the free throw line, but Clemson has 31 made field goals in this game. North Carolina only 18. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing that Clemson is off the free throw line at this point, if they continue to convert at 50%.
Well, let me throw this out. If you're Roy Williams, when do you begin the sort of college version of Hack-a-Shack? Because they've only gone to the line 3 times. They have a guard that shoots 38% at the stripe. You got back into the game and sent it into overtime and won largely because of the inability to hit free throws back in December. When do you begin fouling?
Well, if
you're Roy?
At the 10-minute mark, or if you're 10 points down, I mean, you're not going to do it now, obviously.
No.
But if you're going to, at the 2-minute mark, if you're in a 10-point deficit, then I think you have to start thinking about putting people at the line like a James Mays or the man with the ball right now, Cliff Hammonds.
Exactly. You know he's going to have the ball. There's a turnover and stolen back by Hammonds. What a nice play, getting it back over into the hands of Sam Perry. Great recovery by Hammonds. Potter for 3. Oh, that was incredible. That ball almost went in twice.
And they had a new clock, and I think Oliver Purnell wanted them to get out and set up more. I don't know if Potter felt like there was a recycle on that exchange.
Ellington. Down to 9, 6:50 and counting.
6-point swing on that near 3 on one end.
Oliver Purnell wants timeout. You begin to fight those demons if you're Clemson. You know, the weight of history becomes a factor.
Well, and I think what you have to do at this point and say it's not 52, it's this night, and we want to win this game because if we beat this team here, then this is going to be a huge part of our resume to get in the NCAA tournament.
Again, to further underscore the kind of history that we're discussing, without Ty Lawson for essentially the 3rd straight game, you think the stars and moon are aligned to end this streak at 52.
Yeah, a lot of these kids' parents weren't born when this streak was started, so they're not responsible for it. They're a part of it as part of the program. But I think the key thing, again, is going back and, we were so close to beating North Carolina the first time around.
Yeah.
And we're right there. Let's remember and let's go finish the deal.
Stitt nursing that tender ankle. 2 weeks removed from knee surgery, playing with 4 fouls, is out there with Hammonds and Rivers, Mays, and Booker for Clemson. North Carolina counters with Danny Green, Alex Stevenson, Clinton Thomas, Tyler Hansbrough, and Wayne Ellington. Booker wants it. Stitt unable to get it to him. Rivers in traffic to Mays. Offensive foul. Danny Green coming over.
Hit hard on his head.
He got hammered. Tony Green with a good call, and it goes the other way.
Here's the look. A nice little pass inside, and Mays going in, just using his body too hard.
3rd foul on Mays.
Danny Green really stepping up and taking one for the squad right there. Good defensive rotation.
There you see the turnovers by half. Tigers with twice as many as the Heels. North Carolina had 4 turnovers before they'd even launched a shot in this game. Thomas with a bad pass in traffic, bailed out by Stevenson. Ellington kept alive, and good defensive work by Sykes. The outlet to Hammonds. Big turnaround there, a 4-point swing in essence. 72-61. Ellington Yes, and a foul. A seeing eye deuce with a little harm.
Well, it looks like North Carolina is learning how to get the ball up the floor quickly without Ty Lawson, and that time really getting it done in transition. Ellington with a lot of strength and a lot of concentration with the finish.
Well, give them credit. After that 4-point swing, they continued to push as Roy Williams would want. Casey Rivers now picks up his 4th foul. So Stitt and Rivers each playing with 4. Attrition to the Clemson backcourt now could become problematic. Booker will come into the game for Sykes. There you see the story. Add Booker into the equation, and you're talking about some significant players, particularly if this game goes into overtime, as it did the first time around. Hammond's left wide open. How can he be that wide open?
Well, got his own half-court pressure for North Carolina. They got lost that time. That was a terrific find by James Mays, who is a very good playmaker as a frontline player.
26 now for Hammond. Green gives it up to Hansbrough. 75-66.
Mays exposed his team that time defensively, though. He went for the steal and turned into a mini break. Oliver Purnell just trying to will his team through this last 5 minutes.
Has not been able to get the ball to Booker the last few times. He really wanted it. Hammonds this time off the bounce. Look at Mays keep it alive for Booker.
That's an understanding of where the shot is coming from and where you are on the weak side. Good anticipation by James Mays.
Tell you, Hammonds is something special, isn't he? How quick was that blow by on the baseline?
Green was locked up with Booker inside. He couldn't help defensively, and once Hammonds got by on the first step, there was no help.
Ellington just inside the arc for the deuce. He has 24. 77-68, and now North Carolina, as we approach the 4-minute mark, can ill afford trading baskets. That's what they're doing now.
Back to man. A little quick trap out front.
Yeah, the early fouling is going to begin, I believe. Hansbrough comes out to get it, far from the basket. Obviously, with only 5 team fouls, they've got some more to give, and Roy Williams, sensing that now, probably understands that that's maybe going to be his best line of defense. Finds a wide open Rivers. These guys really know where one another are. Chemistry we were talking about earlier. Stitt pulls up. Not there. Hansbrough the rebound. They did use a lot of clock there, though.
North Carolina has to do a better job of cleaning up the defensive glass. Too many second chances for Clemson. That results in time spent.
Mays into the passing lane, taking it away from Hansbrough. And the flush.
Talk about the guy who provides the energy defensively for Clemson, James Mays, and he's a little gimpy. I don't know if we got, he had a cramp situation in the first game, Tim.
Green with the follow. He is, Ellington came down gingerly as well, but I think he's going to be okay. Mays slowly making his way back to the Clemson bench. The lead is 9.
This is great anticipation on the post pass. Hansbrough a little lazy, and James Mays makes that play. And then it's right after this that he comes down a little gimpy. And again, I don't know if it's a cramp situation. Hansbrough coming in underneath him after the play.
A lot of that went on, if you recall, in that game back in December that we had, because of so much of the effort expended by both of the teams. You see he's taking down some fluids big time over there on the Clemson sidelines. Now, Roy Williams and Oliver Purnell are great friends. They've worked together with Team USA basketball. We asked Roy about his colleague on the other sidelines.
First of all, Oliver Purnell is a great person. He has great character. He has great values. He's the kind of person that you would want your son to play for. I would like to play for him. I genuinely consider him a great friend and a person I have a great deal of respect for. His coaching resume's been at a few places, and they've all gotten better and better. And it's never been a quick fix. It's never been take exorbitant chances or anything. It's every day do the best you can do and work as hard as you can do and get the kids to work as hard as they can. And his teams get better and better each and every year. And they've got a big-time team at Clemson this year.
And he has certainly taken no shortcuts in building a program down at Clemson. You've seen the bricks being laid in layer by layer. And he feels, this team feels, that they're ready to break through and get back to the NCAA tournament.
Roy got to know him well when Oliver was an assistant at Maryland and a part of the ACC. Never a Final Four, never a top 10 AP poll finish. Last outright conference title way back in 1939 for Clemson. They've shared the regular season crown from time to time. Never a tournament title in their history. And a steal by Green. Hansbrough. 79-72.
You really have to be careful with the basketball along the sideline, and that time Clemson got pinned in. Danny Green made a nice defensive play.
The burden brought forth by history. Hansbrough again, right where he wants it. Can you get it off your back, off your shoulders? 52 times in history. Clemson unable to win in Chapel Hill. Offensive foul. Timeout. Hansbrough senses it, and like a great white shark, his eyes light up when he's inside the painted area.
Get ready for an explosion of indescribably crunchy, cheesy flavor. It's the new Crunchy Cheesy Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. Cheese baked right onto the crust for a crunch that unlocks a flavor shockwave. Try one now for just $11.99. And now get 2 free bottles of new G2 from Gatorade when you buy a Crunchy Cheesy Crust Pizza. Get more, not less.
When you have the best plans under the sun, isn't it nice to know there's a bank you can count on? That bank is Atlantic National. We offer competitive rates and flexible terms, plus local processing, local answers, and the kind of concern you'd expect from a locally owned bank. Whether your plans include a new home, a vacation retreat, home improvements, or investment property, talk with Atlantic National. People like us because we're a local bank that appreciates your business.
Do you know that if your blood pressure is higher than 140/80, you're at greater risk for heart attack and stroke? Take the steps to reduce your risk. Get active by exercising every day and control your stress. This game's health tip is brought to you by WakeMed, the power to heal, a passion for care.
Clemson with a 5-point lead, but North Carolina making a surge and doing it defensively. Danny Green right there with the steal. Hansbrough not giving up on the play, coming out and getting the dunk, and then finishing inside. And Tim, maybe it's no surprise that the National Player of the Year candidate is figuring prominently in this last run.
Look at that. 26 and 8. Jen Hildreth has more. Evidently, we're having some audio difficulties with Jen. 2:02 remaining. Thompson will trigger it in. 3 straight Clemson turnovers. This is the closest it's been since 14-9. That was a long time ago. We're at the Dean Smith Center, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. ACC Sunday Night Hoops. And there's the pressure from Stitt against Thomas. He runs into Hansbrough. Well, he barely got it across the timeline. Green, another tray. We're down to 2. Timeout, North Carolina.
Well, my initial reaction to him was, and he was right on line with, what is Danny Green thinking about taking this shot? But what a big-time play and what a big momentum builder for North Carolina. He had a wide-open look.
I've seen this one before, says Oliver Purnell. Largest lead of the game for Clemson was 15 in this half. And this is a patented Tar Heel run, and Clemson without question.
Well, now is the time to, you talk about this, you don't foul on purpose here, but if you get a guy in the lane, you put him on the line rather than letting him get a layup.
Oh, you can tell the eyes of the Clemson players are telling you, can we do this? Can we? It's not will we, it's can we.
Well, until you've got a lot of body of work that says, yes, you can, the question always will be, will we?
They've controlled tempo throughout this game. In the last couple of minutes, the Heels have made the shots, and there is a silencer by Hammonds. He's got 31.
Wow, what a big-time shot from your leader.
Green again.
And I think what they're saying is, I don't know if Roy Williams wanted to get a timeout right there and they didn't acknowledge it.
Wait a minute, Oliver Purnell's like, what's going on over here? Roy's saying, I had a 30, I wanted to take a quick timeout. But if you don't get it, it's simply put, you don't get it. And I think Oliver Purnell said, wait a minute, we should have had the ball in an advantageous situation. And now suddenly they're going to give the timeout. I think Oliver's got every reason to be concerned as to why there was a stoppage in play.
The shot making down the stretch here has been extraordinary. Danny Green, a guy who has really struggled and struggled mightily in the game against Duke, has been terrific with 2 huge shots, and then Cliff Hammonds coming down and answering.
Now, with this timeout being given, both teams have 1 left. And being told now by Tony Green they could not hear the timeout, but a timeout was seen. Therefore, Ted Valentine and Bernard Clinton are over at the scores table trying to determine how much time should be remaining when the timeout was granted to Roy Williams, which would have been after the shot, obviously, once the bucket went in. We've had some games that have been pretty outstanding here on Sunday nights, haven't we?
And we're looking at maybe another overtime.
You think? Incredible. And a very important game in the ACC standings. A North Carolina loss means Duke, its extension is pretty good with regard to the regular season. Another conference loss for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, they're still trying to ascertain at what time I think that timeout should be given. Yeah, it's going to be about 109, 108. So add another second.
You were close. 110.
Close enough.
Yeah. So 3 seconds will go back on the clock.
There's the look. Here's that last shot. Again, I mean, it's been spectacular.
We were talking early on, Mike, really at about the 6 or 7 minute mark. I mentioned the possibility of North Carolina sending Clemson to the line. They certainly were aggressive. They got 3 quick turnovers, turned them into points, and closed this gap all the way down to 2. But now suddenly that frailty in the Clemson arsenal could really come back up again, given the fact that this lead is now 2. They had a cushion up until now. And of course, Ty Lawson unable to play tonight because of that ankle sprain, reduced to spectator and cheerleader tonight. Rivers looks to trigger it in, gets it to Stitt. Dangerous pass, but Hammonds gathers it in to Mays. Rejected by Thompson. Back outside the Stitt.
Casey Rivers has been quiet down the stretch.
Danny Green has closed him down. That's going to be a foul.
Still not in the penalty, North Carolina. The next one to put him there.
Foul goes against Deion Thompson, just his second, and yes, the 16th foul.
And Stitt out there as a freshman, a mistake picking his dribble up in the face of a double team, really had nowhere to go with it.
Mays triggers it in. Your preference would be to foul Hammonds
or Mays.
They're wisely keeping it out of their hands. Thomas picks up the foul. Well, DeMonte Stitt, obviously, a much better free throw shooter at an 80% clip. There are a lot of Tigers that you can foul.
But, I mean, here's you look, Oglesby 85 not in there, Stitt at 81, and then it drops off. Rivers your next best option. But this is a freshman on the road in a 2-point game to one of the top teams in the country. So you can take that stat, throw it out the window. Let's see what he does.
And the North Carolinian comes up empty. Thomas on a clear out. We're tied at 82.
And I tell you what, as a starter, that's the ability he has shown. He has been able to get to the rim when he wants. He's got a size advantage over Stitt.
Timeout, Tigers. For the first time in this game, we're tied at 82. This is the first time North Carolina has even gotten to this point. And history is certainly on their side.
I think you got to look at 2 guys here, Tim. One, Casey Rivers, he's coming off a career high. He's been a little quiet in this second half. But he and Cliff Hammonds have been nails in this game. And also give yourself enough time as an offensive rebounding team to get a couple of opportunities on the back end as well.
Well, the last time these two met, we documented it. Incredible finish in overtime early on. Mays and company controlled tempo. Hansbrough was fantastic, trying to keep his team in it, but was bottled up. And then Ellington with the dagger with 0.4 of a second remaining to give the Heels the win in overtime. So impressed with the pollsters after that game. Clemson did not drop from number 19 in the polls. They did lose, though, their next game, a non-conference game with Charlotte, then won in double overtime against Florida State. Righted the ship, and though unranked, I think they've been playing as well as any team in this conference short of Maryland, Mike. And this, again, is another one of those games that, from a confidence standpoint, will impact them long after this game is over.
Let's see in this last play here, you look at it, 19.4, maybe release them with about 10 seconds, get your shot at about 5, which will allow you a couple of opportunities to get on the offensive glass and then not let North Carolina get a rush up the floor.
Mays will trigger it in. He's got Hammonds, Rivers, Oglesby, and Booker on the floor. Hammonds, a 38% free throw shooter, operates at the point out of a 1-4 set against Quentin Thomas. Time for the senior to initiate. Gives it up to Rivers. Jump stop. Not there. Hansbrough lost it with 0.6 of a second remaining. Clemson should control it underneath their own basket. And the collective gasp from the capacity crowd here at the Dean Dome.
Enough time for a catch and shoot.
And they go to Sam Perry, who plays Oglesby. Attacking the rack, you think, with an alley-oop approach? What do you think? You've got your bigs out there.
Watch, you can't lose track of Sam Perry on the weak side here.
Stevenson and Thompson in. They smell a potential attack of the rack, and a lob by Hammonds. There it is. Recovered by Green. We're going to overtime. We're having so much fun. We'll come back for an extra session. It'll take 5 more minutes if the Clemson's to get off the shot.
Like zoinks, it's the cable guy.
Well, now that DirecTV has way more HD channels than cable, he had to try to stop everyone from switching to DirecTV.
Get over 90 of the best channels in HD now on DirecTV.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
It's a crunchy hot wing with no sauce.
Crunchy on the outside, spicy on the inside. The sauceless hot wing is at KFC. Get a bucket of 20 or try 6 wings for $2.99. Only at KFC.
Cordless power tools and rechargeable batteries help you do projects all over the house. Inside, outside, they let you work anywhere. But did you know that by recycling old rechargeable batteries, you can help protect the environment? It's true. When they no longer hold a charge and need to be replaced, old rechargeable batteries should be recycled. It's easy and it's free.
Recycle your old rechargeable batteries wherever you buy cordless power tools. Go to calltorecycle.org to find a...
HDTV. Why, so colorful.
What kind of high def service you gonna be getting?
Satellite, I guess.
What are you, stupid?
Yes, stupid.
You get way more to watch with HD from Comcast.
Comcast.
Call them up. I mean, I want to watch a movie or something. Hey, you hungry at all? Chinese, Mexican food?
I'll fix you some wings.
You trying to be funny? Don't mock me, boy.
Catch the high def high. HD from Comcast offers the best picture and more HD shows than satellite.
What makes Atlantic National different from other banks? It's the way we treat our customers. From tellers to loan officers, we go out of our way to make you feel like a special person, a valued customer. Our goal is to build a strong banking relationship with you, not just for today or tomorrow, but for a lifetime. If your bank isn't coming through for you, talk with a local bank that appreciates your business. Atlantic National, where others have their branches, we have our roots.
Be there.
Tied at 82 as we begin overtime. Tim Brando, Mike Jaminski, Jen Hildreth. And we have had some magnificent games this year into overtime, included the Clemson game against North Carolina back in December, Florida State, North Carolina last week. The Tar Heels have fared very well in OT.
Well, game 1 of this series was 81-81, Tim. So
right.
Just a little bit off, but it was a great late surge by North Carolina to get them to this point. And now with the foul trouble of Clemson in the home court, you'd think edge Tar Heels.
Yeah, it's played out really, Mike, exactly the way the first game did. The difference being, as I said earlier, perhaps Clemson now knows how good they are, but still ending this drought is something that's most difficult to do. The burden of history in sport, it's quite a cross to bear. Booker feeds Rivers over Green, halfway down the cylinder and out. Oh, the iron downright rude to Clemson.
Tough shot, and that's what Danny Green with his length can give you. He forced Rivers to really arc that shot.
Hansbrough working over Booker. Oh, flipping it up almost from his hip pocket. First lead of the game for North Carolina.
Well, Booker did the right thing. You stay down on all the pump fakes, but sometimes a great player trumps you with a better shot, and that's what Hansbrough did.
The Tigers were losing confidence during this run. What happens to them now that they're behind for the first time?
Play on.
Oglesby's been shut down all night. A tough matchup against Ellington. Hammonds from way downtown. Booker comes away with a rebound. In traffic, gets it to fall. Wanted a foul to go with it.
Now it was a flop by Hansbrough that time. Good no call and good concentration by Booker.
Green grazed the front iron. Pulled down by Hammonds, and a quick shot that time by Danny Green.
Yeah, and I think he was testing how hot he was from the end of the game, but in that situation, you want to run a little bit more offense.
Booker sets the pick for Oglesby. Good look inside the Mays. No help for Thompson. Mays unable to connect. Booker runs it down. Setting a pick. Thompson's going to switch off of it. Jump stop, a tough shot. Booker there again. Strong on the glass. Loose ball run down by Clemson. Oglesby finally knocks it down.
Now, how many times do we see on an offensive rebound and a scattered play defensively that a three-point shooter gets an open look?
That's his first bucket of the night. He only had one against North Carolina, 1 of 10 shooting in his first matchup. That one at a most opportune time.
And that one on Booker.
And if that's on Booker, that's it. That's 5. He's done. So a huge loss because of the ability to get offensive rebounds. But as you know, Mike, they've got a few more bodies on that Purnell sidelines that they can bring in. And Jeray Grant is a possibility. He may also decide to go small. Booker leads the game with 8 points, but think about all the tap outs and deflections.
But here's what he brings right there, that energy, and that makes that play possible. And Oglesby, despite not seeing a big basket, hoists that 3 up. And I really thought the other end, Timmy, that play, the foul that Booker got, he and Hansbrough were really going at it on both ends of the floor, and I think his emotions got away from him a little bit, and he picked up a foul that he shouldn't have.
If you recall, in overtime, he fouled out in game 1. Let's go over to Jen Hildreth. Jen?
Well, Tim, consider on the other end of the floor, too, Trevor Booker, the guy often D'ing up against Tyler Hansbrough. And I talked to both Trevor and James Mays before the game. They play off of one another so much. One guy bodies up on Hansbrough, the other comes over to help. Now, certainly Clemson has a lot of big bodies to fill in there, but maybe no two quite like Mays and Booker together.
Yeah, they've decided to go small, Jen, and bring in Potter, who's very athletic, of course, perhaps more of an asset on the offensive end of the floor than, say, for instance, a Jeray Grant might be. He's more of a defender.
And let's see what happens matching up offensively, because Deion Thompson is out there for North Carolina, and he's going to have to probably check Potter out on the perimeter. They might put Hansbrough out there. Either way, there might be a little bit of an edge for Clemson offensively.
North Carolina now 20 of 24 at the line. Clemson 0 for 4 at the stripe. I think that's kept the Tar Heels in this one. 2 minutes left. Tigers by 1. Shot clock under 10. That's a block.
As we talked, Hansbrough is a capable defender out on the perimeter, but Potter able to get a shoulder by him. He is going to be at the free throw line now.
70% at the free throw line is Potter, the sophomore from Maryland. Another player that's flourished really during this period of time when Clemson has been hit with so many injuries. Still looking for their first free throw. 0 for 5 on the night. Thomas leaves it for Danny Green. Too strong. Ellington the long rebound. Hansbrough. Mays stripped him. He goes back again. 88-87, the All-America will not be stopped when he's that close to the 10.
Just relentless. He beats everybody off the floor a second and third time.
Quentin Thomas in for Ty Lawson. Checking Hammonds. Shot clock at 10 again. Timeout, Oliver Purnell. He did not like what he was witnessing.
Yeah, that possession was going nowhere as Clemson really disorganized, and credit North Carolina's pressure defensively on the perimeter.
So a set play coming from Oliver Purnell when we return. 52.9 left in this one. And Clemson out of timeouts. North Carolina has 2.
Can I help you find anything today?
I was just looking for a laptop, something to help me organize my photos and stuff.
All right, well, we've got a few you should check out. We've got all the best brands. We've got Apple, now even Dell.
Nice.
Gentlemen, on your right, all the best computer brands. Something you won't see anywhere else.
Dell, HP, Apple. Think you'll do any video editing?
Please keep your hands and feet inside.
Our new computer lineup. It's a sight to see. Now all the best brands and Geek Squad support are all in one place. Best Buy.
You hear car, and what comes to mind? Okay, that's not car. And it's not 2 tons of metal, glass, and rubber. Car is why a kid picks up a crayon, and why toy companies make these out of one of these. Car is why we'll stop for a chase scene, or go just to go. Because unlike other vehicles, car is all about you. And it's what makes a Pontiac, like the Solstice GXP.
You gave Toodles a bath.
I thought you were going to watch the game with the guys.
It's just a game. Because you're not that guy, there's Hellsberg Diamonds, where it's easy to go beyond the call of duty. Hellsberg Diamonds, helping regular guys since 1915.
Quality Tough Shed Sundance Series buildings are now available at the Home Depot. Tough Shed does it all, from helping you design your storage building to installing it where you want. All you have to do is call, click, or visit to order your Sundance Series building today. Right now, save up to $500 on any Tough Shed Sundance Series storage building, plus 6 months, no payments, no interest financing with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Legendary Tough Shed buildings, plus the convenience of the Home Depot.
The Tough Shed Sundance Series, available exclusively at the Home Depot.
There you see our game reset. A couple of timeouts remaining for North Carolina as you look at Hansbrough. Great work inside, Mike.
The face-up game, the strip staying after it right there. And the second thing now, Timmy, 8 seconds on the shot clock for Clemson.
Oglesby working against Ellington. Oh, he willed that one in from 3. Terrence Oglesby, the freshman from Cleveland, Tennessee.
52 what?
90 to 88. Sometimes what you don't know can help, correct? And he picks up the foul on the other end with a hand check.
Ignorance is bliss for a freshman and for a shooter.
A little bit of knowledge can be a dangerous thing.
Well, this was just a big-time play, and he had it in his mind he was going to take this shot. And what a finish.
Hey, and Ellington did a nice job of not going for the ball fake.
Yeah, no problem defensively there.
I believe the officials now want to make sure that it was a 3 ball. Ted Valentine's going over. It would be important now because there are foul shots coming up on the other end after the foul by Oglesby.
Yeah, it's definitely a 3.
I thought it was.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah, here's the look. I mean, you see right there, plenty of time.
No question, yes.
Yep, plenty of distance. Yeah, and you rarely think that Oglesby would even be close to the line anyway, such as his range.
Yeah, he can shoot it from the end of the state map that we have at midcourt. By the way, for those of you watching on FSN in Arizona, in a moment we will be taking some of you to your next live event. The remainder of you are going to stay with us, so don't worry. Only those of you in Arizona will be in a situation where your basketball game that you have to see in your area will be coming on. Quentin Thomas, 8 assists tonight. When you think about it, He's performed admirably since Ty Lawson went down.
Career highs in scoring the last couple of games. I thought looked more like North Carolina offensively in the second half in this game.
No question. They're tied at 90. 2 seconds the differential between the game and the shot clock. On the shot clock. Rivers drives baseline, gives it up, knocked away. 1 second on the shot clock. It was deflected off the heels. Clemson's basketball. 3.2 left on the game clock. 1 on the shot clock.
Want to order a double?
My flight's not until the morning.
And I've got to drive home.
Again, very similar to the end of regulation, a catch and shoot.
Well, and you got offensive rebounding too.
That's a shot clock violation. So the Tar Heels will have it. 2 ticks remaining. And Roy Williams will get a timeout.
That was a quick 1 second.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it? Nothing comes easily in the Atlantic Coast Conference, particularly if you're Clemson winning in Chapel Hill.
Here's the lob over. And that was tough because he had to go up with his bad left hand and try to make that play.
Yeah.
That was going to be virtually impossible for James Mays to catch and put up.
Remember those old days when, before we had the tenths of a second on the clock, and Al McGuire would always tell Dick Enberg and Billy Fagerty always say, now you never know how long that second is. Well, that was a quick one. What do you anticipate here? What do you anticipate here with only 2 seconds remaining? What might they be able to pull off? Well, maybe a pacer play from Valpo comes to my mind.
There's still plenty of time for a long baseball pass and then a dish back to somebody as a shooter.
Remember the old play that Drew Barry hit? Pass to midcourt and then someone following to take the 3 ball. With Ellington and Green out there lining up at miscourt, and Lawson unable to be a part of all of this, but Quentin Thomas has gotten the job done. And you've only got 2 seconds left. The speed of a Ty Lawson would really come in handy. Is where you perhaps miss him the most. Thomas has it. Quick timeout taken. 0.8 of a second off of the clock. It really helps to have those timeouts. And Dean Smith would be so proud of Roy having more timeouts than the opposing coach, because Dean Smith made a career out of that through his Hall of Fame career in Chapel Hill.
Well, and you know what, Timmy, with 1.2 now, you've almost gotten it to half court, so there's plenty of time if you're North Carolina to set a screen now for somebody and get a decent shot around the 3-point line.
Isn't it amazing, as well as Hammonds and Rivers played, it was the freshman Oglesby that made the 2 critical 3-point shots that put Clemson in a position for a second overtime.
Yeah, just showing a lot of moxie. Really read his coming out party against Mississippi State earlier this year. But that one right there to give Clemson a lead late in this game.
Boy, his dad would be so proud. He told me, my father taught me everything I know about the shot, the art of the quality rotation that you need. Worked with Mark Price and Kevin Cantwell, a former assistant to Bobby Crimmins at Georgia Tech during the summer, to perfect his shooting form. 1.2 to go. Green going long. It's picked off by Hammonds. Double OT on the way here on ACC Sunday Night Hoops. And Oliver Purnell very happy with his defensive sequence. We're tied at 90. And we'll have the second overtime right after this.
Sometimes even cold weather needs a refreshing twist. Miller Chill, the only light beer brewed with a hint of lime and salt. Chill is in the air.
Like zoinks, it's the cable guy. Well, now that DirecTV has way more HD channels than cable, he had to try to stop everyone from switching to DirecTV.
Get over 90 of the best channels in HD now on DirecTV.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
It's a crunchy hot wing with no sauce. Crunchy on the outside, spicy on the inside. The sauceless hot wing is at KFC. Get a bucket of 20 or try 6 wings for $2.99. Only at KFC.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel John Wagner, United States Air Force. I'm the commander of the 45th Launch Support Squadron. You know, I've always wanted to be a part of the space program, and you know, the Air Force is an exciting place to do just that. Most people don't realize the Air Force space program is equivalent to NASA in size and scope, and in most cases larger. You know, the shuttle launches about once a month, and I've got 3 launches here in the next 30 days. So if you want to be in the space program, the Air Force is a great way to do it.
See more videos at DoSomethingAmazing.com.
Sometimes even cold weather needs a refreshing twist. Miller Chill, the only light beer brewed with a hint of lime and salt. Chill is in the air.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, it's the sequel everybody's been waiting for. If you thought our Hooters Dream Girl competition couldn't get any hotter, wait till you see this.
I'm very competitive. I want it bad.
It's the Hooters Best Damn Dream Girl 2. Friday, we've got photo finishes, bumps, bangs, and even some bruises.
Kale hits him. Earnhardt gets him.
It's the Best Damn Top 50 NASCAR moments. This week at 11.
It has been must-see TV for the last couple of months. If you love basketball, ACC on Sunday night has been special. Tim Brando, Mike Zeminski, Jen Hildreth. We go into our second overtime. Clemson got out to a quick start, led by as many as 15 by 11 at halftime. An incredible run by North Carolina to tie it, get their first lead in the first overtime. And now because of Terrence Oglesby, the freshman, who had no points in regulation, hitting 2 threes, Clemson manages to will its way into a second OT.
And it's rare that we get to see a home-and-home series in this package, and both games as spectacular as they've been. Overtime game earlier this year down in Clemson with Ellington providing the heroics, and here Clemson just trying to hang on and reverse 52 years of ill fortune up here in the Triangle.
And I got to tell you, Mike, given how fragile this game of college basketball can be, particularly in the ACC, I think a loss here by Clemson psychologically could do a lot of damage to them. They have played so well up until this point, but getting over this foothill or mountain, if you will, is something that could be very, very difficult for them psychologically where they lose.
I think they hang in there if that happens. I think this team is different.
Green can't get that one to go. Hammonds has it for Clemson. Mays has been outstanding, logging a lot of minutes, number 40 in orange and purple. Oglesby a runner. That one grazed the front iron.
Well, that's what you need to do. Ellington needs to make him a driver and a 2-point scorer rather than a 3-point shooter.
Thomas on the secondary break. Hansbrough gets it. 92-90.
And he's been shooting that shot more, and he's shown the ability to have free throw line range. Good trail jump shot.
34 points for the All-America and Naismith Wooden Award candidate. An alley-oop missed time between Hammonds and Mays. Now, remember, the Tigers have never been down by more than 1 possession in this game. Oglesby will check out, and Sam Perry will enter for the Tigers.
And you saw the turnover chart there. North Carolina with 19. They had 7 of those in the first 5 minutes of the game, so they have taken much better care of the basketball as this game has gone along.
Almost a walk that time in the backcourt. Ellington pulls up. Not this time. Hammonds tries to save it. Out of bounds to North Carolina. Those anxious moments when you're bucking history. That's what Clemson faces. And for North Carolina, trying to rid themselves of the lingering residue of losing to the dreaded Devils 8 miles down the road on Wednesday night.
Picking up their 3rd home loss of the year.
Hansbrough fouled by Mays.
because of the action taken down in the low post, the help defense couldn't get there. Hansbrough very aggressive going to the rim.
Fatigue got the better part of Tyler Hansbrough in the Duke game, Mike. Uncharacteristically, he was 4 out of 9 at the free throw line against the Blue Devils.
12 of 13 here tonight, though.
Tonight, he has been on target. And he has been living at the line as well. Meanwhile, Clemson is yet to make a free throw as a team. Age-old problem for the Tigers, even long before Oliver Purnell got to the campus at Clemson. For the first time, down by 2 possessions as Dad looks on. 94-90. Mays double teamed and hacked. That one will go against Thompson. 3rd foul on Deon Thompson. And Mays, one of the poor free throw shooters on this team at 54%, gets to the free throw line.
Good deep post up, though. Got good possession inside. And there is the disparity. Being outscored by 24 and out attempted by 23.
Oh, those demons. Those demons that you simply cannot shred. Did get the second one. 94-91. Sykes comes in. Potter leaves for the Tigers.
That made free throw allows Clemson to get into their full court pressure.
Oh, and Stitt nearly came away with a pick.
Missing the first and making the second isn't the worst thing in the world. You reverse that, you don't get a chance to put any pressure on.
They run 2 at Quentin Thomas, out of bounds off the Tigers. Danny Green along with Thompson, Wayne Ellington, Quentin Thomas, and Hansbrough. The 5 on the floor for North Carolina. Stitt, the freshman, playing with 4, checking Thomas.
Thomas came real close to stepping back over half court.
A walk by Hansbrough. He could not get Quentin Thomas to come back to him quickly enough.
By the fact, too, that Danny Green was already in the vicinity. There were too many people and too many hands.
So an opportunity now for the Tigers as Potter, defensive for offensive substitutions being made. Oliver Purnell wants Sykes defensively, Potter offensively. Hammonds, Rivers, and Mays, the other 3 on the floor for Clemson. Hammonds off the ball, trying to get rid of Ellington, but can't. Stitt missed badly. Rebound by Danny Green. Outlet to Quentin Thomas. The heels look for the jugular. Thompson has it ripped away by Stitt.
Wow, he made up for a play. Just ill-advised shot down the one end, but Thompson, he brought the ball down, which is a cardinal sin for a big guy. Stitt right there.
Nice drive by Potter. How strong a move was that? David Potter. 94-93. 2 minutes remaining in the second overtime. Green all the way to the hoop. Fouled by Stitt. That's 5. He's done. You don't want to give an open layup.
Here's that last play. Potter squaring up. And that's when you got a big outside. He can't move his feet as well. Thompson getting caught in between. And Clemson, a lot of life still left in that bench.
Now they lose DeMontez Stitt on the other end with the foul. The good news is that it won't be a 3-point play.
But also, too, they're going to bring Oglesby in for offense, too, because you get the free throw down this end. Danny Green, though, 85%, very solid at the line.
All right, for those of you that may be just joining us in what is almost a fortnight of basketball here in Chapel Hill. G-Man, first half was all Clemson.
And it all started early for Clemson. The defensive pressure turning North Carolina over, and Rivers and Hammonds knocking down 3, 7 of them the first half. And then in the second half, Danny Green is the guy who brought them down with 2 late threes. And this driving layup by Quentin Thomas ties the score to get them into the first overtime. Then it's Terrence Oglesby stepping up, adding the score there, and we find ourselves with another 5 minutes of action.
And now the lead is 2, with one more free throw to come for Danny Green. Well, he may be dancing like he does on the sidelines after the game as well. 96-93.
No need for a 3 here. Take your best shot.
Green is checking Rivers off the ball. Quentin Thomas on Hammonds. Hansbrough coming out to pressure Potter. He gets the steal. And the foul is on Potter.
Timmy, I don't want to go pro on you, but I remember I played Dave Cowan's made against Oscar Robertson in a playoff series, and that looked exactly like it. The big guy getting out and pressuring the basketball and getting to the free throw line.
Hey, you can go pro as long as it's old school, and that is. And he really does remind you of Cowens. Does Hansbrough. Sykes will re-enter the game. Potter leads. Boy, there is competitor, and then there's Tyler Hansbrough. He raises the bar. He really does. North Carolina by 5. 90 seconds left. Ellington checking Oglesby off the ball. Hammonds in traffic. Throws it up. Sykes tries to get it. Hansbrough walls him off. We have to be thinking about fouling now. Hammonds going for the steal right in front of us. The effort unending by the senior for the Tigers. So desperately wanting this game.
And actually, Timmy, they had the ball in the guy's hands that they wanted to foul, but not with Deion Thompson. That man you don't want to foul.
Under a minute left. Shot clock at 15. They're playing straight up. And Ellington makes them pay. Largest lead for North Carolina. Ellington with 26. Rivers for 3. That one's deflected. Oh, they missed the deflection. They're going to say it's an air ball. I thought that ball was deflected. All Carolina here in the second overtime. There's the trap. They got it to Thompson. Now, that's the man you want to foul, but he gives it up to Ellington.
Ellington, Green, and Hansbrough all 80% shooters from the free throw line.
And once again, the clock and the history book remains intact, it appears, in the Carolinas. What might it take for Clemson to ever win in Chapel Hill? Led by as many as 15, by 11 at halftime. By far the largest lead in the history of this series for Clemson in North Carolina. And the Heels warmed up in the last few minutes, and Clemson began playing as though they were an underdog and not in control of the game in the last 3 or 4 minutes of regulation.
Well, and it's, and it's ball handling and pressure, and they were the ones who were forcing turnovers early in this game. And then things got turned on its head, and North Carolina's defensive pressure picked up. Roy Williams told Jen Hildreth about his team getting punched in the mouth, and you're going to come out, how you're going to react to it. And they came out second half defensively, especially in the last 10 minutes, and exposed the ball handling of Clemson and got some points off of it.
Rivers just picking himself up. I think he took one in the solar plexus. He and Green got tied up, and he got a pretty good pop. There you see it. Just an elbow that got him. North Carolina has outscored Clemson 10-3 in this second overtime, 6 of them by Hansbrough. And the ebb and flow of emotions, a lot of times in overtime games, particularly when you get into a second overtime, a collapse can take place, and I believe Clemson's had that happen to them here.
Well, the season comes at you, Tim. They've got to go down and regroup. They play at home against Georgia Tech on Thursday. Georgia Tech team is playing very well on the road.
Hammond's not there. Pulled down by Hansbrough. I think you're right, though, Mike. Even in that defeat at home to North Carolina, the pollsters even noticed it because they did not drop from number 19. They did lose another game. But I think psychologically, when you've only got 3 weeks left in the regular season, going into the postseason, still so much to play for, Oliver Purnell's job may be more difficult this time, yet I agree with you. They have the personnel to handle it.
Yeah, and you'd hope, I mean, so much has been invested in. No shame in losing this game. They came out and gave a tremendous effort and pushed this team to double overtime at home. But I know that Oliver Purnell and his staff, they will not accept this. They will not accept it as a moral victory.
We've seen some incredible games this year. Next week, of course, on ACC Sunday Night Hoops, we'll have Duke at Wake Forest. That Demon Deacons team has played so well for Dino Gaudio. A heck of a game midweek in the ACC with Maryland. They get to play Duke again, and boy, the Terps have been tough all year. Oglesby shot deflected. North Carolina 53 and counting at home against Clemson. Partner, in the second half, the Heels came out spitting fire.
Well, they certainly got an inspired halftime speech, I'm sure, and I felt offensively and defensively played more like North Carolina in this last half. Maybe they're getting used to Quentin Thomas.
You bet. Our thanks to our entire crew. Bob Steinfeld and Lonnie Dale in the truck. For them, Jen Hildreth and Mike Jaminski, this is Tim Brando saying so long. North Carolina wins in overtime. You've been watching ACC Sunday Night Hoops. Is there anything better? Presented by Pizza Hut.